Alright class, I'm going to do this quick video to show you how to add shadows. I'll probably go over the gradient again for this canopies right there, where to look like it's metal. And then the next step we're going to do, actually I might go over the gradient of the windows again. Actually I'm going to go over it here. But the next step we have to do after you finish with adding all the color, where everything has to be filled in. Here I still need to do the windows, I need to do that window. So everything has to be labeled on the layers. Okay, remember we have, and let me turn the rest. We have floor plan and elevation in the same artboard. You might want to have them off, like me, because you're gonna notice right now as I'm turning them on, it lags it, makes it a lot harder to move, right? So okay, so you can have all the layers. Actually, this layer one, I'm gonna call it floor plan. Okay, so as you notice, I have floor plan, and everything that goes for the floor plan goes underneath that one, which for example is a background, and I'm gonna turn them off. It's the shadows, it's the walls, it's the windows, floor, furniture, fixtures. Now these are the walls, the interior walls. I don't know if we're gonna do that. I did it, but I don't know if I'm gonna ask you to do it or not. We might. And that's the shadows for the plan. And then we have the plan itself, right? So go ahead and lock them and turn them off, just so it's faster for Illustrator to maneuver. All right. So next step, and I started with mine. Again, this is the first time we do this, so I started with mine. I added some shadow here. This is like a trim, so I added a shadow there. I added a shadow to the windows, and even inside here, I added a shadow right there. Okay, I'm gonna add a shadow here. So basically, everywhere where it would cast a shadow. And now you have seen the floor plan, so you know that these sections here stick out towards you, right? So that means that there's a shadow that's gonna be cast here. Same thing here. These are trims, so then they're gonna cast a shadow. Now, how much are we gonna go out? That's gonna depend. It's gonna be more of a decision we have to make. Now, just keep in mind that the more that it extends out, the more shadow is gonna cast. That's why for this trim right here, I kind of just pulled it out just a bit, right? And then for the window, or for the trim for the windows, I pulled it out a little more. Same thing inside the window. I just pulled it up just a bit so we can see that shadow right there. Okay, I think it's even too much. We might need to pull it a little bit backwards. Maybe like that. It's a little bit of shadow. Okay, so we're gonna do this, make it more realistic. Now we see it on this side. Actually, I have the shadows here too. Let me get rid of them. Actually, I put these in the wrong. Yeah, let me get rid of them. Okay, so we see this side here, right? It looks plain. Yeah, it has color and everything. It looks plain, but if we go and look at this section now, here it looks more, well, actually, just right there, more three-dimensional. You can see shadows now. Okay, so it makes it a little more, it looks a little nicer. So we're gonna go step by step. Again, I'm doing it just as you're doing it, so I'm guessing we're gonna have some issues, not issues, but we have to figure out how we're gonna do the canopies and so on. But we'll get to that. So how did I do this? All right. So what I did, I added a new. Actually, let me do that. Well, for the canopies, I just did another canopy layer, and that's where I added this right there. So the way I did it, basically, again, just to go over it, to the canopies, do a new layer, call it canopy, and do a shape. Sorry, right here, do a shape, and then just you might, in your case, you might have a color. It might be like that. So just come right here, put a gradient. If it's not a gradient like this, it's because it's at 0. So open gradient and change the angle to, I think is -90. Yeah, okay. And that's it. So do it to all of them. I think that's the way I have it. Yes. Okay. So that's how you do gradient. Again, I showed you how you do it, how to do that. Do it in the window in class. If you have any questions, please let me know. All right. So let me get rid of this. So now for the shadow, we need to again look at what is it that extruding out and how much is extruding out and how much shadow is going to cast. Now we're going to assume that the sun is somewhere here and is shooting this way, so the shadow is going to be cast on the right bottom of the rendering. Okay, so that means here there's no shadow. Here we're going to have a shadow. No shadows here. Well, actually here we have a shadow. This is a trim that extends out maybe like 2-3 inches, so it's going to be a little bit of shadow. This extends out from this wall, from that wall, maybe, let's see, how much? Extends out, I don't know, about 2 feet maybe. So the shadow here is going to be a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to do, let's do the trim first. And again, here is going to be more of your decision. Keep in mind, Illustrator, it's a tool. You're the illustrator. Illustrator is just it's a software, but you're going to be the illustrator. You're the one taking the decisions on what to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do another another layer and call it shadow. And on that layer, I'm going to put it, set it to black. Okay. No fill black, no stroke, like that. And then I'm going to come out here and I'm going to concentrate on this section here. I'm going to do this section in the windows and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I'm going to get my pen, click more or less where it's going to start. And I'm going to press shift so it locks at 45. See how it locks it down 45 and right. And I'm going to more or less, by experience, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have seen buildings, you have seen shadows everywhere. You just go outside, you'll see shadows. So how much of a shadow would that cast? Well, that thing is extruding out maybe about an inch. So I'm going to put it about there. Okay, here's going to be more of a, you decide how much. Okay, and according to this thing, it's 0.02 inches. Set it there, and then I'm going to go straight all the way to the other end. I'm going to go straight all the way over here. Wrong button, right here. And I'm going to press shift, make sure it goes straight. Now here the shadow is going to, it stops right there, so I don't have to go 45. I'm going to go straight up. Actually, there's something there, like that. And then I'm going to take it all the way to the end. So let me zoom out, and I'm going to take it to where I started, which is, wrong button, which is right here. Okay, I'm going to take it back. There you go. So there's my shape. Okay, there's my shape. Now, if you look at over here, it's kind of grayish. Now, I'm not going to change the opacity just yet because I need to add the shadow for my windows. I want them to be together. If not, if they're separate, when I bring down the opacity, I'm going to see sections darker than the other ones, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that everything's the same color. So what I'm going to do, now I'm going to do the shadow for the windows. I'm going to do one, actually not the window, the trim. I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to copy the rest. So I'm going to go back to my pen, again, go somewhere here, shift, maybe a little bit, let's do 4. It's a little bit more of that trim, I'm guessing. So let's do 4, and then let's go up here. Now here is going to be more of a, you kind of figure out if it's 45 degrees. And then I'm going to go up like that, and then go straight down around here, and then close it like that. Okay, so we create a shape. All right. So we have that shape, and we have that shape. This is for the trim for the window, or the molding in the window, and this is for the trim that goes all around. Now, this is what I mean. I don't want to lower the opacity on this too, because if I do that, the way I have it, I'm gonna have that line there that I don't want to see, and not only that, but you can see here when this one and this one intersect, it creates a darker section right there, right? So for that reason, I'm going to leave them black as they are. And the next step I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this one to the other windows. So I'm going to press Alt, click, and then Shift so they go straight. Put it where they go. I want one there. And then I'm going to do it again. Alt, Shift, actually Alt, click, and then Shift. There you go. Another copy. And then one more. So I'm going to click, Alt, actually Alt click, and then Shift, and put it where it goes, right there. So now I have the shadows for the windows and the shadow for the trim. But if you notice here, the shadow for the trim is going inside the actual molding for my window. So what I'm going to do here, just so I can see it, I'm going to grab the shadow for the trim. I'm going to lower the opacity and go to properties, just so I can see, maybe a little more right there. So I can see that I don't want that section right there. Okay, I want for this line to come like this, go down, and then go up. So in other words, that section right there, that gray that I see right there, I don't want it. So what I'm going to do, very simple, what I'm going to do, I'm going to, actually let me get rid of this, just so it's easier for me to see. So I'm going to grab my shadow, I'm going to go to Object, and I'm going to go to Hide Selection. So it's just going to turn it off, okay? It's not going to delete it, it's going to turn it off. So I'm going to click on that one, it's gone. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab a box, okay? It doesn't have to be all the way, and I'm going to put it more or less right there, okay? Now, just the way we did, and let me pull it up just so you can see. Just the way we did Unite, we can also do, where is it? Like trim or subtract. So I'm going to grab both of them like this. And then if I go to properties, see, we have been using Unite. Now I'm going to use minus front. So if I click on this one, see, what the box that I had drawn there, it deleted that section from the shadow. See, in this case, I think in the other one I went further down. So here, actually, I could have just stopped there. If you go all the way further down, like for example, on this one, see how this shadow actually goes a little bit lower than that right there? Actually, it's right on the line. That's how you can do and make them all together. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it back. Actually, let me go back. I already did. You saw what I did. So now I'm just gonna undo it, and now I'm gonna copy this box, put it here. So I want to do same thing with the other ones. Copy this box, put it right there, and then copy this box and put it right there. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do, let me turn off these also, or hide them, because I don't want to see them right now. So Object, Hide Selection. What I have selected is gonna hide it. Now I'm gonna grab all this, and I'm gonna do minus front. There you go. And that's what I want. So it's like it trimmed it. See, now it goes there, there, and again, if you're gonna do it no further than this line, then you can do section by section. In other words, you can do this part and then come and do that one and that one. If you're gonna go further down, you might want to do what I'm doing right now. Okay, it all depends. But it'll be nice if you do it that way. You can practice with your minus front. Now I'm gonna bring the those objects back. So I'm gonna go Object Show All. Okay, so they're gonna appear again. Okay, so now here, what I'm gonna do. Actually, I should do this. Let me try to do this one first. Well, let me do this section here first. Let's do that. Let's do this section, and then we're gonna unite them and pull them down. And then I'm gonna let you continue working on the rest. And again, this is I'm barely doing this too, so we're doing it together. So I'm gonna do this section here. So I'm thinking these things extend out a bit. I'm gonna take it like they do. So I'm gonna go out maybe a little bit, like an inch maybe, just a little bit. Go out that way, go around there, go there, come back and put it back. Just like a tiny little shadow. Actually, I went too far on the, let me do that one again. Here, let me go to 45. And I can just more or less figure out how much space, so eyeball it. And bring it back down, bring it over here. Okay. If you think it's too much, what you can do is just with the anchor points, pull them back. So I already have that. I'm going to just copy this one and bring it all the way over here. Okay, and now here just click, shift, put it where it goes, just around there. Actually, somewhere there. Okay, we can tweak it. So I have shadows there. Now let's try to do this part. Let's say this one sticks out a little bit further out. So for this one, I'm gonna click here. Maybe do 3 there, and I'm gonna go straight this way. Press shift so it goes straight, right there, and then let's go close it right there. Okay, so we have that shadow, and then last shadow I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to do this one here. Now this one is gonna stick out a little further out. So I'm going to click right here. Now this actually, yeah, it's going to come from here. Because this section here probably is casting on top of the roof. And we're going to take like it is. So we're going to come from here. And again, this is work in progress. I'm still trying to figure it out. So let's go a little further out. Let's start 12 inches. See how that looks. We come down. Straight down. We go this way. And then let's take it all the way and close this. And let's see how it looks. Again, I'm doing it with you, and we'll see how this turns out. So now that I have that, it kind of looks normal, I guess. That will be a shadow casting on that part. Now they're too dark now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to try, well, not that part. Select these. And I'm going to try to unite them, see how many unite. Okay, so it seems like actually all of them united. That's good. Except for maybe that one. No, they grab them too. So I did this for the reason that now if I go to opacity, and I can bring all of them down at once. So let's try 85. Okay, doesn't look that bad, actually. There you go, see? Now we have shadows. There. All right, actually it doesn't look that bad. Like it. So let's go ahead and do that. And good thing that it's in sections, so it will be the same thing here. All right. Be consistent. So what I would do, see, I did it again for the video. I had done this one. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to undo it, and then I'm going to just copy this selections and put them where they go in this section. That way all of them are going to be the same. So in other words, I'm not going to do all this and then redo it over here. So whatever, I'm just going to copy this, put it there, copy this, put it over there, copy this, all this, put it on the other doors and windows, so that both of them are exactly the same. All right. Now for the shadow inside, we're assuming this thing extends out of the wall and the window is further in. So here, what I'm going to do also is just again, just actually it could be a rectangle. Actually, it could be 2 rectangles. We can get one and put it around there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get the same one. That way I know the size. Copy it, rotate it, get it from a corner, press shift, and put it right there. And then I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to pull it in. And then from here, I'm going to unite both of them. And now I can lower the opacity. I think we did 85. So it shows we have some shadow there. Okay, so now it casts shadow there, casts a shadow there, casts a shadow right there, right there, right there. Actually, I'm missing this one. I didn't do this one. I'm missing that right there. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, what I'm going to do next, this actually I'm going to undo. So in your case, don't undo. What I'm going to do, it's actually, let me get rid of everything I had done here. That way, the ones I'm doing, they're exactly the same. So before I do that, see, I don't know if they're exactly the same distance from here to here, then from here to here. I don't know that, so I don't want to, it might be. Let me try. So if I copy this, actually, no, I don't think it's the same. No, it's not. See how that's not it? So what I'm going to do, before I unite and do all that stuff, I'm going to undo, and then I'm going to copy everything, and then I'm going to do the uniting. So I'm going to undo all this stuff up to there, where everything's in sections, right? See? In sections. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this one, put it where it goes. Okay, so this one goes right right there. Actually, if you zoom in, it'll give you more freedom right there. See? And then, for example, I'm going to copy this one. Copy this, move it to the right, and then click here, shift, make sure it goes right, and I'm going to put it where it goes. Well, in this case, actually, I don't need for it, I don't have to put it right there, because that right there is going to be covered with that shadow. And then here, if it doesn't go all the way through, well, I just click it and extend it and put it where it goes. Okay. So you can copy what you did here before you unite it, before you bring it down, make all those things, and then you can do this section and that section. So, so in fact, let me try to do this one first. I'm going to hide this. Hide selection, and I'm going to try and do this here. Now here, let me see how it looks. It might be a little bit tricky because you have some, it has this shape here. So it might have a, let's try a 7, see how that looks, or a 6. I don't know what that is, sorry. All right, so let's try a 7 or 8. Let's try a 7. 45, and then bring it all the way to the end. Let's see how this looks. And the good thing with this is if it doesn't look the way it should, then just get rid of that shape and do it again. All right, just make sure they're using the right layers. There, okay, so now I'm gonna bring the other one back, show all. Okay, I'm going to, again, you want to do the whole everything, but I'm just doing section by section. I'm going to bring this one, put it where it goes on this end, and then make sure it goes all the way through. Okay, so now imagine I did the whole thing. Imagine I did also the shadows and all the sections, blah, 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 blah. Once you do that and copy them to this section here, and actually that section in here, well, no, there's no shadow. It's going to be on the floor. Now we can go ahead and grab them. Grab whatever's in this section. Okay, oops, I did something here. There's one here that I don't need. I don't know what is that. Oh, it was for that one, but I'll do that one next. So I'm going to grab all this. And again, I should be getting only the shadows because the rest of the layers are turned off or locked. I can only control shadows. That's good. That's why we're doing everything on layers. If you had everything together, then it's going to be a nightmare trying to select everything you need. So once it's selected, properties, unite. Once they're together, click, and let's lower the opacity to around 85. Now something here looks kind of funky. Well, actually I think it should be like that. Okay, so now you can see how the shadow looks more natural. All right, so just let's look at it, see what the differences that it makes. Let me turn this off. And from there, looks plain, looks just like too cartoonish. Now we add shadow, and now we create some depth, and I think it looks just looking good. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on that. This video is going to be the sections, and I'm gonna try next doing these sections here. Here it might get a little bit tricky, or I'm gonna see how I can figure out how to do this so we can cast a shadow there. Um, but let me work on that next. Okay, so work on that section with the shadows. All right, have some fun.